Hi, my name is Jane Powell. Welcome to Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. This is a show showcasing community involvement. Today, we are going to learn about estate planning and why that is important and the steps you need to take to make it happen. And to talk to us, my guest is Kim Matthews. Kim, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Kim, let's get all your credentials out of the way. You are Vice President of the United Methodist Foundation of West Virginia.
That's right.
And for today's conversation, you're going to put on another hat. You are Board President of Charitable Gift Planners of West Virginia.
Right.
So we have lots to talk about, and we'll kind of mingle those two positions a little bit. But can you tell me, it's a big name, Charitable Gift Planners of West Virginia. What the heck is that?
Charitable Gift Planners of West Virginia is an affiliated organization with the National Association of Charitable Gift Planners. And it's a group of nonprofit and charitable leaders in the nonprofit community who get together to support each other in the work to inspire and educate people from all communities to give to the charitable organization of their choice. So we help gift planners like you and me to learn how to do our jobs and to bring the opportunities of legacy building to everyone.
Mm-hmm. So it is really an organization for the professionals that are helping folks
That's right.
pull their things together.
That's right.
Is that right? And October, every year, October is National Estate Planning Awareness Month. And within that month, there falls a week which we call Wills Week. So it's important enough that it gets a whole month and a special week. So I'm so glad that we're talking about it today. Give me some reasons why it's so important.
It's important to focus on estate planning because these are the instructions you make to your loved ones and those who are managing your estate on what you want done with your estate after you die. Some of it as you're living. What medical instructions would you provide for your medical providers for your health, and what financial instructions would you give to your person who's managing your estate, whether that be an executor or an administrator, about how that will be managed. So those are important things to think about and important decisions to make and to write down and to have for those who are going to help you.
They're hard conversations.
They are sometimes hard conversations to have because there is an element of facing health questions or death, and we don't want to really talk about those. But once you sit down and have the conversation, there's certainly a sense of relief that that's, for the moment, done. You certainly want to go back and review it as time goes on, but it is an important conversation to have.
I find that it's an easier conversation when I'm feeling strong and healthy and like I can conquer the world. On days when I might be a little peaked and my nose is running and I haven't slept well, it's a much harder conversation. So I like that folks do it when they're feeling good and strong, and it doesn't make it seem quite as doom and gloom.
That's true, and it's also when it's necessary, when the instructions are needed, it's a real gift to give to your family that you've had these conversations with them, you've made all the plans, and they don't have to make those decisions. They can put your instructions in place and feel like they're doing what you want them to do.
What happens if I die without a will?
If you die without a will, the state has in effect provided one for you. There are state laws that will govern how your assets are divided, to who your assets will go to once you're dead, who will take care of any children who need care, who are under the age of 18 or are special needs. And it leaves open that anyone could administer your estate, whoever would go to the courthouse and make those plans, instead of the person you would choose to do it. So take some choices away from you if you don't have a will.
So if I think I want my money to go to help the animal shelter, the person that gets assigned my estate might decide that they want it to go to build a new basketball court.
Well, the state doesn't make any, in the law, there's nothing that says the gift will go to charity. It's going to go to family members,
Right.
however distant they are.
But that person would have the right to make those decisions.
I believe.
Yeah. So I like having it written down.
It's important to write it down.
But here's the other thing. you're talking about estate planning and assets. What if I got $100 in my checking account and I'm renting an apartment? Do I need a will?
You still need a will. You need a will for any assets you may have to help you nominate who will care for your children if you have children who need care. And you may have an estate after you die that would need instructions. So you should have a will no matter what your assets are. It's not for people who are only rich or who we think of as rich. It's for everybody. Everybody should have a will, to have those instructions written down. And not only a will, but a medical power of attorney and a living will, which is a document that lines out your instructions regarding your medical care to whoever's taking care of you. We need to have all those in place no matter what.
Right, because when estate planning sounds big and grand with acres of land and horses and stables, and that is not at all what it means.
That isn't what it means. It's just taking care of whatever you own and whoever you care for after you die.
Yeah, I like that. So we're talking about this. I'm not an attorney. You're not an attorney.
I definitely am not.
So we by no means are giving legal advice. I want to be really clear that we're suggesting that people talk with an attorney, an estate planner, someone that they feel very comfortable with making these decisions. And when they get ready to have that conversation, what do they need to think about?
So before you go visit your attorney, which I really suggest that you visit an attorney, you don't do this yourself at your kitchen table with something you found on the internet. Please go visit an attorney that you trust, and think about what your assets are. Make a list of what they are. Make a list of the people you care about that you want to take care of in your estate, and the organizations that you care about, the charitable organizations that you'd like to have a benefit from your estate. Make that list and think about how you want your estate to go, and write that down. If you want to make a charitable gift for your will called a bequest, then you may want to visit the website or call the charitable organization you want to leave the bequest to, because they'll have probably bequest language that you can take to your attorney for that particular portion of the will.
The Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation does have on our website a sheet with bequest language and tax ID numbers, and I'm sure United Methodist
The United Methodist Foundation does as well, and that's probably pretty common.
Yes, I think it probably is. So if you're interested in whatever the organization might be, that's a great place to start to get their information to take to your attorney.
To take to your attorney.
Right. And then so you have that meeting and they'll draw up some plans and you'll review them, and you may review them with your family. But it's a process.
Right. But it is a process, but it's something that even though it's difficult to do, you'll feel better once it's done. It's something people worry about.
Are there special circumstances I should think about?
There may be a few, and some you might want to think about. If you have children who you think are not ready to handle a large influx of cash, if that's something that's going to go through your will, you may want to talk to an attorney about a different way to handle that. If you have special needs children, even adult children, you probably want to talk to them about ways to help them that doesn't interfere with any benefits they'll be receiving from the government at the time. If you don't have close family, you might want to talk to your attorney about other ways to manage your estate rather than it going to some fifth cousin in Oklahoma. I'm sure that's a nice person, but maybe that's not where you want your estate to go.
And it makes a great movie. We've all seen that happen in the movies.
That's right. But maybe there's a charitable organization you want to benefit in your community instead, so that your money stays in the community.
Somewhere where you volunteer or that you've received service. Who knows?
Where your heart is.
Right. Yeah, great idea. Great idea. So we talked about this a little bit. Charitable gift planners is not a place to go to build your will or create these documents, but it is a place that you can maybe meet a financial planner or an organization that can kind of give you some ideas. But I still think an attorney's the way to go.
You definitely want to go to an attorney to do your estate planning.
Yeah. So tell me some special ways that people could remember I like animals, I like gardening. What are some ways I could include that in my plans?
I like to think of, I call them the tools of plan giving, like a person who's doing carpentry work would have a tool belt. There are lots of different tools in that belt that you could use in your particular circumstances. And meeting with your attorney or your accountant or your financial planner or a charitable gift planner can help you look at those options and explore the best ones for you and your circumstances. It might be a bequest. That's the simplest and most common way people leave a legacy for the future. But it could also be a charitable remainder trust or a charitable gift annuity, and both of those can provide you income during your lifetime and then leave a residual for charity. Your life insurance plans, your retirement plans, all of those can be sources of estate planning options. And there are others that your attorney can tell you.
Right. A lot of people create scholarships, either, maybe at their college or for their high school, so that those kids can further their education. I think that's quite common and just quite wonderful to think your legacy is sending kids to school and helping them make plans. Can you give me an example of when this was really life-changing for someone, that you saw the benefits of them creating a will?
Not just a will, but all of the documents that go with the estate plan. When your loved one is in the hospital and you're thinking this is a terminal condition, you don't want to have to consider all of that. And I've seen those examples where they come into the hospital or to the room and say, we're going to have to make some decisions. And the spouse says, I don't have to make those decisions. My husband already has, and I have it written down. I have definite examples of that being a real gift to the family, that's not a decision they have to make. So I'm a believer in having your living will and your medical power of attorney prepared.
That's just love for your family.
It is
That's
love for your
taking care.
family, yes.
Yes, what a great example. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I think we've learned that it doesn't have to be a grand estate. It can be what I call the working man's salary and checkbook, that there's still importance in planning and thinking ahead, because it is love for your family to give them that gift.
It's love for your family, but it's a testament of what you believe too.
Yes.
And it's talk to your family about it before you do it so they understand what you're doing. And it's a way to express your values to them so that you're carrying on those values to your family and future generations.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. We'll see you next time.